I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. This is another Patreon review for Johnny. Thank you once again to the people who have supported me on Patreon. I also want to thank the people who have sent in PayPal requests. If you're interested in doing either one, the links to them will be down below. It could be a request for a movie review of pretty much anything else, movie topic, whatever. Again, the PayPal, Patreon down below. I know I say it in every video, but oh well. I guess I keep saying it because I really want to overdo it, that I really appreciate what people are doing. I really appreciate it. I don't take it lightly. Let me put it that way. Thank you so much. And the request for today is a film called My Dog Skip. And it's a pretty decent, dramatic, I guess you would call it kids film, but at the same time, it has a nice enough, simple story. I guess it's an autobiography. The film takes place in the summer of 1942, and it's directed by a guy named Jack Russell, which the only movie I recognize he has done is Ladder 49, which, if I saw that film, might have been when it came out, but I don't remember anything about Ladder 49. But yeah, it's an autobiography of the same name, which was written by Willie Morris. It pretty much tells the story, again, the summer of 1942, where it's a 9-year-old kid, here played by Frankie Muniz, from Malcolm in the Middle TV show. He was in a couple movies. Big Fat Liar, if I remember correctly. He's a very lonely kid. He doesn't have any friends. He has a dad who has a bum leg, played by Kevin Bacon, which I'm a big Kevin Bacon fan. It was cool to see him in this. And then his mom is played by Diane Lane, who is a very solid actress. She was in the Stallone film Judge Dredd, The Perfect Storm. She played Martha Kent in the newer Superman movies and Justice League. But Diane Lane herself is still a very solid actress. She did a very nice job here as the mom. Other people in the cast, you have Luke Wilson as one of the only friends of Frankie Muniz. He's pretty much an adult who is going into the war. Of course, 1942, you guess which war that is. And, the kids are really hoping for him to be safe, and he's sort of the local hero, and the other kids are like, why is that guy hanging out with this dirty, know-nothing kid? But Luke Wilson is still, his character's a decent guy who gets along with Frankie Muniz, and they say their goodbyes to each other. And since the guy's gone to war, Frankie Muniz is even more lonely. So Diane Lane, against Kevin Bacon's wishes, gets the son a dog, and a Jack Russell Terrier. Very cute little dog. And Kevin Bacon is, I don't know about this, but ultimately he relents. Once in a while you get narration by Harry Connick Jr. narrating the story, which is him as the adult of this character, Willie Morris, narrating what happened during this time, how this point changed his life forever, and this bond between him as a kid and this dog really changed things. And they played around with each other. You know, they're both shy. They both become good friends. It's a sweet little story where they play with each other at the movie theater. They're playing football. He runs with the dog who has the football in his mouth. And during the summer, he gains some friends. They say, oh, I bet you couldn't stay in this graveyard overnight. And he does. You have a little bit of a villainous plot where you have these moonshiners. It doesn't go in depth, as in, it's not like the rest of the movie. It's about kid and dog versus the moonshiners. A lot of movies would go into that, but again, because it's an autobiography, but how much of it is true and how much of it is embellished, that's the thing with based on true stories. You never know how much gets embellished one way or another. Of the moonshiners, one of them is actually played by Clint Howard. And they threaten the kid, hey, if you tell anybody we were here, the pooch will be dead, so he stays overnight. The kid's like, wow, he stayed overnight, and he's even by this, tombstone, and gets the bully's respect, and everyone starts hanging out with each other. And pretty much I did sort of this overarching story of the summer of 1942, and the little stuff, little adventures, little events that happen during it. For example, Luke Wilson's character comes home. There's a story that maybe he ran away when he was at war, and people think he's chicken. But Frankie Muniz still tries to be friends with Luke Wilson. You also have like this film that the kids watch about paratroopers, but the paratroopers have their dogs, which I guess this was a real thing called parapups, because they would show like old footage. Unless I'm guessing, since the autobiography, this really happened. I would assume that there were people who would actually jump out of airplanes with little dogs. And then they take the little dogs and train them to go after the enemy. So the kids start training the dog to go after Hitler and these dummies. So you kind of, I don't know if I say relate to the kids, because I never went through that, but the kids did their jobs well. Frankie Muniz, he was not irritating. He wasn't annoying. He's playing a 9-year-old character that I thought was very capable in his performance. Kevin Bacon, he was a little bit of a stern dad, but it never went over the top where he's complete and utter dickhead. I guess over the top is the phrase to use. Maybe that's because, again, the autobiographical nature cements why it's not going to the totally cliche movie tropes, the over-top stern dad, or any of that sort. There's a little bit with baseball involved, and I thought he did a nice job dealing with the characters. Luke Wilson, what happens with his character, because I like Luke Wilson as an actor, and he's not in the film a ton. He's in a little spurts, but when he's there, he does a nice job. And the third act, there's a really nice little conversation Luke Wilson and Kevin Bacon have with each other, which I thought was a nice touch for the characters. This is one of those movies that's a bit hard to review because there's really nothing I found egregious. Like, there's nothing in it that I found, oh my, horrible or terrible or god-awful. Again, it's a sweet little dramatic film. The Rotten Tomatoes, cute, wholesome entertainment for the family. Designed to appeal to your sentiment. That pretty much sums it up. Harmless. There's nothing joke-wise that are tremendous groaners. There's a little bit of drama, but I thought it worked well. I didn't think it was tremendously melodramatic. Maybe to other people they would disagree. It was nothing fantastic, amazing, mind-blowing, but it was also nothing cringy, god-awful, oh my god, why did you do that? I mean, the marketing, I think, is bad. Because I was a bit uneasy watching the film, because the poster, which, if I remember, I'm going to put it on here. Actually, you know what, I probably don't find a better poster, because on IMDb, the poster I'm looking at, which I didn't, go on IMDb, type in My Dog Skip, you'll find it. This is a decent film. I don't want to screw it up by having this stupid poster. It's a dog looking at a toilet. I mean, it's like, oh my god, it's a kid's film about dogs, and the image you're promoting it is a dog looking at a toilet. So yeah, I'm going to find an image that is at least better than that. I mean, come on now. So, because I had never heard of this film until Johnny listed as one of the films he wanted for request, because Johnny's getting a couple requests because he took a big tier on my Patreon, which I really appreciate. But yeah, I had never heard of this film before then. It came out in the year 2000, March 2000, and I'm looking at what it did at the box office, and made $34 million in the U.S. with a $6 million budget, so I guess technically it was a hit. So I guess it did fine. That's weird. The release date, one says January 2000, one says March 2000, so I don't know. I'm at Box Office Mojo. But either way, yeah, I know it's not much of a review, but it's a movie that, yeah, it's cute, it's wholesome, entertainment. The cast did well for what they had to do. The dog was trained well. They used a real practical dog. Again, it amazes me that Call the Wild, the Harrison Ford film that came out and bombed, $150–200 million. Tremendous, unbelievable budget for a CGI dog. Here's a tiny little movie where Frankie Muniz, where they had a real dog, first a puppy, then a little bit of a bigger, older dog that looks similar. Have it training, doing all this stuff. Go attack this dummy that the kids made up. Go and play around with the other kids. The ending of the film, I thought, I could see some people thinking it's over sentimental. I thought it was handled the correct way. That gave you a little bit of the feels, a little bit of the heart, but I think some people may feel it's manipulative. I thought, compared to other family films, I thought it was handled better here than I did in other examples. But yeah, My Dog Skip, if you have kids and you like a wholesome family film, but you don't want the god-awful jokes or tremendous cringe and tremendous BS, it's worth a watch. It's worth a watch. And I'm not even a big Frankie Muniz fan, but for the role he was given, he did a fine job. And again, it's cool to see actors like Kevin Bacon, Luke Wilson, Diane Lane, all doing a fairly solid job in their roles. Nothing was too over the top or too cartoonish. That's what we're looking for. I didn't see anything that was too cartoonish. At least that's my opinion. Luke Wilson has a nice little moment in the third act. You better hope that... Well, actually, I won't spoil it, but he has a good little moment where, you know, people think he's chicken, but he gets I'll just say he gets a nice little moment where he proves a little bit of his manlyhood, so to speak. But yeah, that's my thoughts on My Dog Skip. Thanks once again, Johnny, for the request. Thank you guys for watching. Take care. And stay tuned for more reviews. See you guys later. Bye-bye.